So today is Valentine's Day and our dear Minister of Finance, Mr. Lawrence Wong, sent us a huge love letter that covered a few things that will affect our future finances in the following year. And this letter is no other than the Singapore Budget 2023. So the Singapore Budget is an annual budget statement that is released at the end of the financial year. So the budget for the past years had a lot of things that were done to support COVID-affected Singaporeans. But since we are considered DORSCON green, one day before the Singapore Budget, I guess we can say that we are out of the red.
Out of danger.
The budget statement was 2 hours long with many different things, but here's a lowdown of what I think will affect us, working adults, the most. So the first thing here is CPF. So CPF is like the retirement nest egg for most Singaporeans because once you reach the age of 55, you get to withdraw a lump sum of $5,000 if you hit the BRS, and when you reach the retirement age, you get monthly payout based on the tier that you are on. So on paper, the more CPF you have, the more you will have on a monthly basis when you retire. There are 3 tiers to CPF retirement scheme, which is the BRS or the basic retirement sum. You have FRS, which is a full retirement sum, and you have ERS or the enhanced retirement sum. So this is based on the amount you have in your RA or the retirement account when you turn 55. So in 2022, BRS stands at 96,000, FRS stands at 192,000, and ERS stands at $288,000. So with all these tiers, one can look to receive roughly $800 to $2,300 per month when they reach the retirement age. But something to note is that BRS, FRS, and ERS, the amount there increases every single year, so it might start becoming a little bit of a challenge to hit those numbers depending on how your working situation is like. So one of the big change for these that will affect us young working adults is a CPF contribution cap, which will be increased from $6,000 all the way to $8,000 from now till 2026. So for example, if you're earning $6,000 right now, you're at a CPF salary ceiling because it's the maximum that you can contribute. With a $6,000 per month salary, you as an employee will need to contribute $1,200, which is 20% of your salary, and your employer contributes 17% of your salary, which is $1,020, which is sort of the max from now all the way to September 2023, where the ceiling will be pushed to $6,300. But let's say if you're earning $7,000 a month right now, this means that with the current CPF salary ceiling, you'll be taking home roughly $7,000 minus $1,200, which is $5,800. So this will give you more cash for you to do your investments, for your holidays and whatnot. But come September 2023, the ceiling will be at $6,300, which means that you'll be contributing $1,260 or $60 more every single month into your CPF, leaving you with $5,740. So this will affect those who are earning more, giving them less cash on hand at the end of each month to invest or to do whatever they need to. And from the budget, we can see that the end game for CPF here, as set by Mr. Lawrence, is to have the ceiling set at $8,000, which means that with an $8,000 salary, you'll be putting $1,600 into CPF instead of $1,200, or $400 less cash flow at the end of each month, but this will only take place in January 2026. So for me, I'm a little on the fence for this because this means less cash on hand, which I prefer because personally I see CPF as a locked up money that I can see, but I cannot touch until I hit the retirement age. And who knows what will happen in the next few years from now all the way to my retirement age, or even if I hit my retirement age.
No touching!
So next we have the GSTV or the GST voucher that we are all sort of excited about because we got some helicopter money from the government.
Who wants some free money, Shanties?
So as usual, with free money comes with requirements, and there are 3 main requirements here for Singaporeans, which is number 1, you have to be age 21 and above. Number 2, your annual income cannot exceed $100,000. And number 3, you own less than 1 property. So if you fulfill these requirements, then every December from now till 2026, you'll receive anywhere between $200 to $800. So this amount will vary between the different years, and this is where I'll put a table to show you all the details. But that's not all, and if you fulfill the same requirement that we just spoke about, you can receive anywhere between $200 to $400 in a special payment, COL or cost of living bonus in the month of June this year, 2023, to help us with the rising costs and inflation rates. So for the year of 2023, we can expect to receive somewhere between $400 to $600 if we are eligible as Singaporeans. So I'm really excited for this because this means that I'll have extra money that I can put into my stock portfolio and hopefully get me enough dividends that I can create my very own CPF in some way that pays me regularly instead of waiting for handouts until retirement age. And lastly, let's talk about housing, which is something that really puzzles me right now. So we all know that Singapore is a land scarce country because we are a tiny little island, and the prices of housing here isn't cheap. So I got an SBF or a sales of balance flat which cost me more than $500,000 because it's slightly situated towards the central of Singapore, and at 92 square meter, it's a really small place. So back when I got to pick my unit, we got something like a $20,000 grant from the government to help offset the purchase price for a new flat. But now, if you're a first timer purchasing a resale flat, you get up to $80,000 in grants, and $80,000 is sort of the max that you can receive, but in between there are some requirements that you need to fulfill before you get the full $80,000. So now this is where it puzzles me.
I'm so confused right now.
So granted, I'm not a real estate expert or an agent, but right now if I'm a homeowner and I know that there are grants available to help Singaporeans, and if I'm, let's say, selling my flat for $300,000, I might just bump the price up a little bit more because I know the government is giving out grants, which means that the buyers will have additional help from the government to purchase resale flat or my flat, which kind of brings us back to square one of flats being really expensive here.
It's basic capitalism.
So right now I'm very confused about this, but if there's an expert out there, please let me know the rationale so everyone can understand the situation here. So these are some of the important things that I took out from the Singapore budget, and definitely there are more stuff in the budget that will affect different groups of people, and I'll leave links in the description down below with all the papers and documents so that you guys can read up on it. At the end of the day, with the new budget, there will be some changes that will make us feel uncomfortable and uneasy, but I personally feel that the best way to navigate these situations is to start investing yourself in small amounts and start building up your own retirement fund, which will make you independent of whatever changes that happens. So this brings us to the end of today's video. Let me know your thoughts about the Singapore budget, the good, the bad, the ugly, so that we can have an open discussion to help everyone around us. And as always, do drop us a like if you haven't, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and stay safe, invest safe, and I'll see you in the next one.